According to one report, Australia holds asylum seekers in immigration detention for an average of 689 days, longer than any other Western democracy. For comparison, the human rights organization Human Rights Watch cited the figures from the USA and Canada, 55 and 14 days respectively. In Australia, the authorities even jailed 117 people for more than 5 years. 8 asylum seekers have spent more than 10 years in immigration detention. Australia's strict asylum policy has long been internationally controversial. According to the Home Office in Canberra, there are currently 1,459 non-Australian citizens with unclear resident status in immigration detention. Human Rights Watch said detaining people solely on the basis of their immigration status is harmful, expensive, and ineffective as a deterrent to migration. The government should stop punishing people who may have fled violence and injustice and offer legally compliant alternatives, they say. The US government classifies the partial withdrawal of Russian troops announced by Moscow to ease the Ukraine conflict as false information and instead assumes that the military presence will continue to expand. In the past few days, Russia has brought about 7,000 additional troops near the Ukrainian border, and some of them just arrived today, a senior White House official said. Findings from the US government meanwhile show that Russia's announcement of a partial withdrawal was wrong, he said. NATO had already spoken of a Russian troop buildup instead of the announced partial withdrawal. So far, we haven't seen any de-escalation on the ground. On the contrary, Russia seems to be continuing the military buildup, said NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg in Brussels on the fringes of a meeting of the defense ministers of the alliance states. The Ministry of Defense in Moscow, on the other hand, claimed that further parts of the troops would be withdrawn. Several units involved in exercises on the Ukrainian Black Sea Peninsula of Crimea have now returned to their locations. The Russian Defense Ministry released a video showing a train with tanks and other military vehicles on the Crimean bridge in the dark. A woman and a man have been stoned to death in the province of Badakhshan in northeastern Afghanistan because of an extramarital love affair. This was confirmed by 2 officials from the militant Islamist Taliban from the province to the German press agency on Wednesday. The 2 people confessed to sleeping together 2 or 3 times, one of the officials said. There was no doubt that they had an illegal relationship, so they should have been stoned and are now dead. One of the couple killed was from Baghlan province and the other from Mazar-i-Sharif city, the official said. Both would have last lived in Badakhshan. Taliban spokesman for Badakhshan province Muesuddin Ahmadi confirmed the incident. According to him, the matter is being investigated. The Hashtish Sob newspaper reported that the stoning took place in public on Monday in the province's Nazi district by order of a Taliban commander. The Taliban regained power in Afghanistan in August last year, and since then the Islamists have significantly restricted women's and human rights. According to the police, at least 9 people were killed in a coordinated terrorist attack on the capital of the East African crisis-ridden state of Somalia. Local residents heard a wave of heavy explosions just after midnight in southeastern Mogadishu, followed by hours of automatic weapon fire and mortar shell fire. What we saw last night in Mogadishu shows that the Al-Shabaab terrorist group still poses a potential threat to peace after they were ousted from the capital by military force in 2011, said former Somali intelligence chief Ahmed Fiki to the German press agency. According to a police spokesman, the attackers temporarily took control of a police station. Numerous buildings were destroyed. Our house collapsed completely in the explosion and we lost an older brother, local resident Mohammed Ibrahim told the German press agency. 2 children are also among the dead. According to the police, numerous Islamists have overrun various checkpoints during the attack in order to get to the capital. They also used car bombs. The security authorities are still looking for attackers, said a police spokesman in the morning. The Islamist terrorist group Al-Shabaab claimed responsibility for the attack, which is considered one of the most serious in recent years, via its mouthpiece Radio Andalus. Al-Shabaab claimed not only to have killed numerous soldiers and police officers, but also to have looted military equipment. For years, the country on the Horn of Africa has been shaped by the terror of Al-Shabaab, which controls large parts of the south and center and repeatedly carries out attacks on security forces and civilians. In contrast to the most recent attack, however, it is mostly lone perpetrators who carry out suicide attacks in the capital Mogadishu. And I'll see you in my next video. Bis gleich.